So, picture this. Yesterday, Iran opens up one of the most important waterways on the entire planet. And today, they slammed it shut again. And guess who they're blaming? Donald Trump. Let's break down what in the world happened.
Okay, to really get why this is such a huge deal, you have to understand the Strait of Hormuz. A full 20%, that's 1/5, of all the world's oil flows through this one tiny little choke point. It is the jugular vein of the global energy supply. And right now, it's closed. Again.
So, the big question is, what happens when a route that critical gets shut down? Well, right now, markets and governments are scrambling to figure that out. Just 24 hours ago, we had this glimmer of hope, but man, it vanished fast. Here's the play-by-play. All right, let's turn back the clock just 24 hours. The news was actually surprisingly good. Iran made a move that, honestly, nobody really saw coming. It was Friday, April 17th, and Iran comes out with this major announcement. They said the Strait of Hormuz, which they had been restricting, was now going to be fully reopened to all commercial ships and oil tankers. Tehran called it a good faith gesture, a step to build some confidence, and they tied it to the ceasefire in the whole Israel-Lebanon conflict. And the reaction? It was immediate. Oil prices started to drop. You can just imagine shipping companies around the world breathing this huge, collective sigh of relief. It really felt like a genuine step toward de-escalation in a super tense region. And then, Trump posted. So, U.S. President Donald Trump gets on social media and calls it a great development. And at first, it seemed like he was just confirming the good news, right? He says the strait is, and I'm quoting him here, fully open and ready for business and full passage. Looked like a crisis had been totally averted. But that celebration didn't last long, because almost in the same breath, the whole narrative just flipped. Buried inside that same celebratory message was this one little detail that was about to unravel the entire thing. And here it is, the catch. Trump clarifies that the U.S. naval blockade targeting Iranian ships, yeah, that's staying put. So the strait was open for everyone except Iran. The whole maximum pressure thing wasn't going anywhere. I mean, this just lays out the problem perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have Iran offering to open this vital waterway for everybody as a sign of goodwill. And on the other, you have the U.S. saying, great, we'll take it. But our blockade on you stays. And, well, Iran definitely noticed. The reaction from Tehran was, let's just say, swift and furious. All that optimism we saw on Friday, completely gone by Saturday morning. By Saturday morning, Iran's top military command puts out a statement. They basically argued that they'd agreed, in good faith, to open the strait, but the U.S. condition made that totally impossible. For them, this wasn't some simple disagreement. They called it a betrayal. And they did not mince words. The statement literally accused the U.S. of piracy and plunder under the cover of the blockade. I mean, that is incredibly strong language, and it just screams that any trust that was there is completely gone. So their conclusion was blunt and to the point. The deal is off. The Strait of Hormuz was immediately put back under what they called strict military control. That brief window of opportunity had just slammed shut. And now, Iran's position is harder than ever. Their new terms are crystal clear. The U.S. has to allow complete freedom of movement for Iranian ships with zero interference. Until that happens, they say, the strait stays locked down. So that's where we are. We're locked in this incredibly dangerous stalemate with two sides that are just miles apart. And the consequences of this could affect every single one of us. This table really sums it up, doesn't it? For Iran, the blockade is illegal and it has to end now. For the U.S., it's leverage and it's staying. So Iran says the strait is locked down until its ships can move freely, and the U.S. insists it has to be open for global trade. There is just no middle ground here. And this brings us right back to why this is all so important. If Iran keeps this level of control over the strait, analysts are warning that we could be looking at the start of a major energy crisis. Think supply disruptions, soaring prices, things that would be felt all over the world. It's just incredible, isn't it? One day there's a deal, the next day it's gone, and now both sides are just digging in their heels. It's a really sharp reminder of just how fragile things are, and it leaves us with this one critical question. How close are we, really, to a serious energy crisis?